This recording or blog is going to talk about some incidents in my life, memories of things that I thought was kind of odd. Some might say paranormal or just weird occurrences, whatever you want to call it. But in the other videos, I talked about my father. My dad was an alcoholic. When we lived in St. Louis, he lived there most of his life, and as I talked about in other videos, he got transferred. The company he worked for decided that St. Louis was too high in taxes, so they had two other um, factories. One was in Carroll, Illinois. The other one was either in North or South Carolina. I can't remember, but anyway, he chose Carroll, Illinois because Carroll was closer. We moved down there when I was really little, uh, like around 1970 or so, like that. And we moved. The first place we moved was Mounds, Illinois. We rented a house there. He decided that he wanted to live closer to work, so we found a house that was in a little town called Urbandale, that was in between Cairo and Mounds, Illinois. Well, we rented the house from a guy there, and eventually we the guy that we rented from decided to move and asked my dad if he wanted to buy the house, and my dad said yes. So my dad got along and bought the house, and he loved the house. He used to love to sit out in the front yard and watch. There was a highway that went in between the town. It was Highway 51 at the time, and he used to like to watch the traffic. The cars going back and forth. And whoever owned the field, the lot in front of our house, never took care of it. He didn't mow or anything. So eventually the weeds kept getting higher and higher till it blocked his view. So he found out who owned the lot, mowed the weeds down. So we also had a lot on in front of the house. My dad was told, this is what my mom had told me, that by the doctors doctor had seen that if he didn't stop drinking, it was going to kill him. And he didn't listen. He just kept drinking. I had an uncle who's also an alcoholic, so when he'd come down and visit, they would go out drinking all the time. So eventually, it came to pass that my dad got cirrhosis of the liver from drinking. And basically, they told him he was going to die. He decided then to stop drinking, but it was too late. So my dad was a World War II veteran. When he got bad, he went to the VA. My one sister, and my mother was up there, and they were there when he passed away. And my sister told me when she was there, and just like I said, I'm not sure how true this is, but it's what she said, that she had fallen asleep, and she had a dream that my dad had came out of the where he was at the room, talked to her, and told her to tell my uncle if he didn't stop drinking, he's going to wind up like him. Later on, after my dad had passed during the funeral, my uncle was there, and he came out shaken from the funeral. And they asked what was wrong. He said, "I'd seen myself in his casket." After that, he stopped drinking. Unfortunately, he didn't. He started again, and he wound up dying like my dad did. That was one strange incident. The other one was my other sister swore she heard my dad's voice in the house, and we just blew that off. Um, Years later, when I was older, in my teens, I think I was 16, 17, we had a dog, the last dog we ever had before we moved, and she played with an old shoe, and she used to like she'd come into my room when I was there and wanted me to, tug on it, and she'd, pretend like she's pulling back, and I would take it from her and throw it. Or one day I was doing that, threw it up against the wall. She jumped up, went to go get it, and stopped. I mean, just literally froze in her tracks and started looking at the wall and whimpering. And I was like, "What? What is wrong with you?" And she would not go get the shoe. So finally, I got up. I went and got the shoe and said, "Here, there's nothing here. There's nothing wrong." And she just freaked out. And then she went back normal. So that was kind of odd. Another strange thing that happened in the house was that I was on the phone with a friend, talking to him. I had a chair in my room. It was one of those little like chairs you have with a dining room set. And I was talking to him, and the chair went up on two legs and crashed down. That was freaky. And I wondered to this day if that was, I don't know if I believe in the afterlife or not, but I always thought, was that my father? That he didn't want to leave. He didn't leave the house. That he was still there in spirit form. But I'm not sure. It's one of those things you can't prove, but it was odd seeing it. Another strange thing that happened to me, I could never understand or explain. I was always a big person. I was a big kid. My friend went out for a little league, so I decided I'll try it. Well, I was a big kid with no athletic ability, so I would strike out each time I went up to bat. And I'm not sure if this was my brain that did it or what, but all of a sudden it was just like I wasn't in my body anymore. I didn't have control of it. And I hit a base run. Never did it again. My friend's mother was there and said, "Hey, good job." I said, "Well, I didn't do anything." She goes, if you did, whatever you did, it worked." So anyway, that was odd. Another odd occurrence is when I almost drowned. I can't swim. I was in my friend's pool. I decided I was going to be on one of those little raft things. And they took off. They jumped out. I don't know what happened, but they jumped out of the pool and took off down the road to go see something. So I said, I'm going to leave too. So I went to get off the raft. I fell. And I went into the pool. I was right around the middle of it. And I was going down. I was drowning. I could feel water going into my throat, and I was starting to black out. I was going down for like what they call the third time. And that's when I reached up and I grabbed the side of the pool, which in hindsight I always wondered how I did that since I was in the middle of the pool. And but somehow I did it. It was a above ground pool. So that was another odd occurrence that happened to me. I'm not sure, about the paranormal or the afterlife or spirits, but like I said, there was a couple things I saw that I can't explain, and wondered about. And there might be a logical explanation for it, but the instance I described, I still don't get it. But anyway, those are the memories, a few memories on some strange occurrences that happened to me in my life that I always wondered about. So anyway, I guess that's going to end the video today. I'm going to think of more things. Probably might talk more about anxiety and depression and dealing with that. It's kind of hard today, but anyway. If someone's watching this, thank you for watching. And hearing my ramblings. I'm just a common guy and some weird stuff and issues. So have a good weekend, and thank you again for watching if you are. good day.